Have you noticed that by the time women turn 50, their circle of friends starts to get a lot smaller? And it's not because we can't make friends. It's not because there's a problem. It's because secretly and quietly, we're just opting out of making new friends. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's 7:30 in the morning. I am getting ready to head out and get groceries. And what really got me thinking about this video, I'm going to get ready here while I'm doing this video because I want to head out. You've got me here with my Valentine tree still, and today is actually February 21st that I've recorded this video. But anyway, so I'm going to just get my hair ready while we're chatting here. But I got thinking about this topic actually because I went to a work training session last week. And there was a very lovely lady there. She was around my age, maybe a couple years older. And when I walked in the room, she sort of like befriended me, I guess. And we started chatting. And then she was asking me my makeup tips. What kind of lipstick I wear and what kind of foundation I'm wearing. And I was like, well, this is really nice. What a pleasant surprise. Because most women do not approach other women that they don't know. I don't know why. We just don't. So we chatted a bit throughout the training session. We exchanged numbers, and then I thought, oh, this is potentially a new friend. Since then, I keep thinking, okay, I should reach out. I should message her back and ask her if she wants to go for coffee. But I haven't yet. And I'm thinking, why? Why have I not? So, sorry, friends. This is the wet brush. I love this thing. I have naturally curly hair and I've straightened my hair. This thing is a lifesaver for people with curly hair. Now I'm going to put some of this argan oil because I did straighten my hair and it's kind of frizzy, right? So I just put it on the ends to soften it up a bit. So anyways, so she messaged me and then I messaged her back with the products, and I've since been thinking about it, and I still may. I think I will. I think I will message her and ask her if she wants to go for coffee at one point. But also, at the same time, I'm like, I'm kind of tired. Do I want to invest this time? Do I want to make the effort? And I think this is what happens with many of us. We get to this point where we're just tired and worn out from taking care of everyone, doing so many things, working, raising our family. So today in this video, that's what I wanted to talk about. The reasons why women are opting out of friendships when they're in their 50s.
I think many of us just enjoy that we finally have a little bit of peace. And for me, we spent years driving our kids all over the place, and we were out every night of the week. And now that they're, late teens, they're busy with their own lives, we have all this freedom. And, when I'm at home now, I just want to relax. I don't mind doing my meal prepping. I like to stick with my routine and doing the things that I enjoy doing. And, even though we have this free time now, it doesn't mean I want to go out and be running the roads every night of the week, going out to different places with different people. I personally just want to sit at home and relax, and I like being alone. I also just really enjoy having my routine, and I don't like to break my routine very often.
Midlife starts to bring a shift in energy. And, by midlife, we have spent decades taking care of everyone else and showing up for everyone else. And we've been the reliable friend, we've been the listener, we've been the organizer, we've been the emotional support system, we've juggled our family, work, relationships, and most often putting ourselves last. And I'm going to share a video here about stopping the mom guilt, because it's important for us to have our own lives. It's important for us to take a break and to have things for ourselves. But I think somewhere along the way, we just got tired. Maybe just tired of relationships that sometimes feel like they're one-sided and that they're draining and that we're doing all of the work, or they're just superficial, surface level relationships. I think it's that we eventually start protecting our own energy. And many of us are just tired and worn out, and we don't want to invest that energy into something that isn't going to serve us at this point.
In our younger years, we often kept friendships out of habit, proximity, or history. We stayed connected because of school, work, kids, or shared routines. But by our 50s, we start asking deeper questions. Do I feel safe with this person? Do I trust this person? Do they actually see me? Do I leave this friendship feeling better or drained? And if the answer isn't good, many women oftentimes they're quietly stepping back. And they're not doing this dramatically, not angrily, just intentionally.
Many women choose a smaller circle of friends. And I think in midlife, women realize something important, and that's that you don't need a big group of friends. You only need a couple of real friends. And when I say that, I mean people that allow you to just show up the way you are. You don't have to put on a performance. No one's keeping score. You're allowed to just be who you are. One or two really close friends that truly know you is all that you need. And I'll share a video here that I did about not having a lot of friends and choosing it to be that way. Because I think it's really important at this point in our lives to realize what's important for us and what we're looking for in a friendship. Because I don't feel that I have time to, go out and cultivate new friendships. Although I am going to call that lady that I spoke about earlier. Because I think it is important to have people to just go out. If there's surface level friendships, but there's also this deeper rooted friendships. Personally, I prefer the deeper rooted friendships, but I also don't mind having people that I can just call up and say, hey, do you want to go for a coffee? Or hey, do you want to go to a movie? Because I feel like we do need that as well. And maybe people are searching for these, long lasting, deep rooted friendships, but it does take time to cultivate those friendships. Those don't just happen overnight. So in the meantime, have those friendships where you're just calling the person up to go out for coffee. Now, I do get kind of annoyed if there's a friendship where I feel like I'm the one doing all of the work. Are you the person that's always the one to reach out? You're always contacting the person, how you doing, just checking in. If you're that person, so am I, and it is very annoying. So I find with those friendships, I don't invest as much time and effort anymore because I don't want to be the one always doing the work. There should be some reciprocation there. So, you learn about which friendships are the ones that you value the most and the ones that you want to put the most effort into. And for me at this age, I'm 54, I feel like the friendships that have deep connections, they feel better because there's just peace and not having to worry about a popularity contest. And I was never like that. I could care less about, having 20 million friends. And honestly, the people that are the ones that post the most about where they're going, what they're doing, all of the photos with all of their friends, those are the ones that are least happy. And those are the ones that are just putting on a show for popularity. I don't care about that. I would prefer to have relationships that, have deeper meaning and connection.
There's another truth too. Some midlife women don't have close friendships at the moment, not because they're unlikable, but because life reshaped everything. Divorce, relocation, caregiving, retirement, loss, personal growth, all of these things can reset your social world. And sometimes there's a quiet in-between season where old friendships don't fit anymore and new ones haven't formed yet. That space can feel uncomfortable, but it can also be where the most authentic connections eventually grow.
Midlife isn't when we start losing friendships. It's when we start becoming honest about what we think friendship is and how it makes us feel. We stop collecting friends and we start choosing them. And if it means that we only have 2 or 3 friends, then so be it. That's not loneliness, that's clarity. And we have less and less time to be spending cultivating friendships, tolerating things that we maybe tolerated in the past. And as we go through different phases of our lives, we will cycle through different friends. When I look back to all of the friends that we developed through our kids, social activities, sporting activities, music, all that kind of stuff, those friends are not in our lives anymore. Because I find that when the kids are at the same age and they are at a point where there's something that they're competing against, somehow that changes the dynamic of the friendship. And the friendships become very superficial because the minute your child starts to become better than the other one, then it's game on. And I feel like a lot of those friendships are very fake and phony. So, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that have had their kids in, competitive sports and have made long lasting friendships, but that just was not the case for us. And so Friendships will kind of cycle through as you move through life, and that's totally okay. I hope that you've enjoyed this style of video. I'm going to try to incorporate just day-to-day into the content moving forward. And also I'm going to just add in where I can some of the products that I use. Now I do have my Amazon storefront and I do list a lot of the products in my description, but I just got thinking after I met the lady at the training when she was asking me specifically about, she asked about my foundation, my lipstick, and I thought, oh, there's a lot of us that maybe appreciate that, right? Under knowing what other people are using, what products work well. So I'm going to start trying to incorporate a little bit of that into the videos as well. Let me know in the comments if you're midlife and how many friends you have. And if your circle of friends has changed over the years. I'm curious. I feel like many of us are the same. Thank you for watching. I hope that you made it to the very end. I really do appreciate it. I know that I get rambling sometimes, but I hope that what I share is helpful and provides some value. Join the conversation in the comments. There's a lot of us here that like to chit chat. And if you did make it to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And until next time, bye for now.